Ingredients include a look behind the scenes. Cook uncovered until hot. Add grooves to taste.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey. Once upon a time, there was a little girl.
The accident was over a year ago. A second woman has been elected president. The 12th planet has been named in the solar system. The last wild polar bear has died. I slept through it all. Was here for my waking. He called it a beginning. He said it was good. I think he may have thought that anything I did was good.
Welcome to Transition Radio. Host Mark Angelo Cummings.
And hello, and welcome to Transition Radio Show with the naked-faced, no longer bearded wonder, Mark Angelo, Margitza, whatever you guys want to feel that you want to call me. I'm okay with it because in the end, it doesn't matter because these are just meat suits. And hey, what's up, Rex? And I feel that it's important to live one's true reality, one's truth. Now, I'm not trying to push my reality, my beliefs on anyone. Everyone's got a journey to go on. I feel that Mother's calling me to be the true androgynous being that we are meant to be. So how that's going to look like within the course of a period of time, I don't know. I felt like the beginning of it all would be like to shave my face. Tomorrow I will engage in shaving the body. I have lots of body hair. Nice beard, not, right? But you know, it's important. It's important in my opinion to really, it's the time now for truth, for really putting everything on the table, for learning to listen to one's higher self, which of course we know who that higher self is, or it's connected to mother and father. And it's important to live one's truth. So as I continue to educate regarding what I feel this whole gender dysphoria thing is all about, as I continue to embark in spreading light and truth to what is taking place in our world, then I will continue to embark on the changes that I see fit, as Mother sees fit to happen. Anyway, so glad to be here today with you guys. We had a great show this morning, and here we are again, talking about some really important issues that I think need to be talked about. And remember, guys, anytime you want me to address anything, this is your show. Please feel free to email me at transitionradioshow@gmail.com. If you want at any time to call in, let me go ahead and find the number here and write it down. You figure I'd memorize it by now, but this is not, you know, my regular number. Hey, Dottie, this is the number that I dedicate for the show. But at any time, you guys could call in, state your questions, comments, just to say hello and hear your voice on air. Much love to you, Dottie. Much love to you. Thank you. I appreciate that. This little sign thing kind of cuts one off. But I made a video and posted it earlier explaining, you know, the need in my heart to return to my androgynous self. You know, all that beard and all that stuff just never really allowed me to be androgynous, and I miss that with all my heart and soul. Being able to just ebb and flow. You know how it goes. Hey, Scott. It's important. It's important to live in truth, you know, and as time progresses, because this is a healing process, a massive healing process that I'm going to embark on. I've tried this before, didn't work out for whatever reason. I'm not going to put blame on anyone or anything, just didn't work out. But now I am ready. I am ready to embrace where I need to be so that I could be that proper vehicle, that proper tool to help others. I want to be able to help those young girls that you know, they feel cheated. They feel that they have to be a man to have some power in the world. They feel that being a lesbian or butcher or two-spirit or whatever is not enough, that they feel that they have to fit into society's box. And I say, we're going to be laid down in a box when we die, so why live in one while you're alive? You know, that's just bizarre, totally bizarre. So I'm going to totally try to be that beacon of light for those individuals who feel hurt, who have been traumatized from childhood and feel that they have to alter themselves and hurt themselves. And I say, you don't have to do that. You don't have to fit to society. Society has to fit to you. That if you're a woman and you're butchy and you're androgynous and you enjoy wearing men's clothes versus women's clothes, then by all means do it, and vice versa. You know, it's important to be transparent. Hey, Martin. Let's see, Martin says, some God-fearing kids to abuse. Oh, regarding today's article, yeah, I mean, and we're seeing it all over the place. It's not just the Catholic Church anymore, by the way. Not just the Catholic Church. There's a lot of stuff coming on in different churches as well that have a pedophilia ring and have, you know, sexually molested many, many children. As a sexual molestation victim myself, I know too much how that feels, how it disrupts your world. And it's time to shed light on the topic. And hey, Phoenix, fresh start. Yeah, nice clean shave. I can't even wow, you can see my teeth now. Somebody wrote on my Facebook page, you look like a girl. Duh. I am a girl. You know, I was able to fake it pretty good, I guess, you know, but that's all it was, folks. It's like you try to fit into a box and, you know, you try to accommodate yourself to what society wants to see because, you know, people don't like in-betweens. People don't like what's different. So because of that, in my opinion, this trans agenda has taken flight, and it's time to put it to a halt. At least I want to educate people. I want to give people another alternative. And now, returning to my original state, I don't feel like such a hypocrite. I feel like, you know what? I could wave the flag now. And if I don't look as pleasing as whatever it is that's going to transpire from all this, I don't care, because it's not about the meat suit. It's about the heart. I want to get you guys to know the real me. Not that the presentation that I had before the beer, that was all like, okay, armor, standoffish, you know, but now I want to just really just lay it all out there for you guys. I want you to see my heart fully without that beard, without that rough and tough, you know. I'm me, and I was born Maritza del Carmen Perdomo, a baby girl who matured into a female. And then something went horribly wrong along the way, took a detour. Things happen. But I will not live in regret, and I will not live in the past. I'm living in the now, and the now means I am ready to heal, and I'm ready to share that healing with you guys, and I hope you guys join me in the healing as well. Whatever it is that you need to learn or let go of, you can do it. And together as a family, we can do it together. I promise you that. And let's see here. Scott says, hi, Phoenix. And Phoenix says, hi, Scott. And Who's Martin says, I meant they love some God-fearing kids to abuse. They may as well not hide it. I don't think they hide it anymore. I mean, I'm telling you, we've talked about it before. That P is going to be on that alphabet soup real soon. Real soon. I never finished an article that I was reading yesterday regarding the amount of money, Martin, that's behind this trans agenda. that's behind all this pedophilia, that's behind all this stuff. It's like, it's pretty alarming. I'll try to see if I can finish it tomorrow. I put a link on the description from yesterday's morning show, so if anyone wants to read it, it's pretty crazy. I'm thinking about just making a video, reading it, and not making a live thing, just like a video for informational use. I'm thinking about doing that because it's important. Want me to call you Maritza out of respect now, or still Mark? Whatever you want to call me, Martin. I thought maybe I could add something like Markitza. I don't know. I love my female name, Maritza. It's the way it rolls, the way it sounds. My mother did a good job picking that name, some Greek river somewhere in Greece. Maritza del Carmen Perdomo. It rolls very nicely. So it doesn't matter to me. I mean, I'm okay either or. I'm still legally, obviously, Mark Angelo Cummings. If I decide to pursue the change of documentation, it's not an easy haul. You got to go to a doctor. They got to say you're a female, and you got to go in front of the courts, get another legal name change. So I don't know if I want to go through all that hassle. I don't know yet. I can't predict the future. I'm only living in the now. And right now, my important thing of all is to heal, to forgive myself what I've done to myself, because that is so important. Forgiveness and being totally transparent, being a beacon of light for those that felt that they too have made a mistake and they allow their childhood traumas to totally deviate them from their life path. And Pheonix I Am says, this has been your journey. No one can judge you. Exactly. We all have our journeys to embark on and to take. And, some people learn from other people's journey. And like I said, all I want to do is be a beacon of light for many. So let's go ahead and share this articles here. Let me share the screen. One day I'll get efficient at this. Still working on learning what buttons to push. More than 100 priests accused of sex abuse are named by Brooklyn Catholic Diocese. Now, like as I said before, there's more than Catholics. The Catholic just had a bad rap. I mean, Jehovah's Witness had a pedophilia ring. Pentecostals also, I think. We watched a video the other day. I forgot who it was. They're just naming away, and it's almost like a perversion that, gosh, if I recall correctly, it was like the norm for older men to make young men into men by having sex with them. This was considered the norm. It was just like another day in the office, and it just makes you wonder, where does this all stem from? It's this Yahweh, this archanic or Arconian or reptilian type of God. Is that part of their agenda? Do they have a taste for young blood? I mean, I don't know. It's pretty disturbing either way. Again, because I was sexually molested from the time I was 8 years old till the time I was 12. Did it have something to do with what I've done to myself? Possibly. One of the many things. And that's one of the things that I really want young women to understand, and young men, that just, do not hate yourself. Forgive those that have harmed you and heal and work through anything that you have to work through. Do not continue to add hurt to yourself and those you love. So the article is written by Rick Rojas and Liam Stack. It reads, the Roman Catholic Diocese of Brooklyn on Friday named more than 100 priests who have been credibly accused of sexually abusing a child. It was one of the largest disclosures yet in a torrent of lists recently published by the church, as its handling of the problem has drawn the scrutiny of law enforcement officials. Somehow, I think a lot of law enforcement officials are paid off, and it's just been very hush-hush for the longest time. The diocese is also one of the largest in the nation. Its domain encompassing Brooklyn and Queens in New York City, an area with 1.5 million people who the church says identify as Catholic. My own younger brother is a Catholic. The disclosure covers decades of allegation involving priests who had served in the diocese, many neighborhoods, parishes, as well as at school, including Cathedral, Preparatory, Christ the King, St. Francis Preparatory of Archbishop Moly High School advocates who track abuse cases said it also roughly doubled the number of suspected abusers they had been aware of in the diocese. The list contributes to a growing sense of the vastness of a sex abuse epidemic that has plunged the Catholic Church into scandal and inflamed a crisis in confidence among its followers. Church officials have employed the disclosures as a way to acknowledge failure and mend ties with Catholics whose relationship with the church has been tested over its handling of sex abuse. So we know this list will generate many emotions for victims who have suffered terribly. And the Most Reverend Nicholas D. Marcio, the Bishop of Brooklyn, said in a statement accompanying the disclosure, quote, "For their suffering, I am truly sorry. I have met with many victims who have told me that more than anything, they want an acknowledgement on what was done to them. This list gives the recognition, and I hope it will add another layer of healing for them on their journey towards wholeness." Bishop DiMarcio followed a dozen of other bishops in the United States in publishing the names of suspected abusers after an explosive grand jury report in Pennsylvania last summer that worsened tension in the church by documenting 7 decades of accusations. On Wednesday, the bishop of the 5 Catholic dioceses in New Jersey released the names of nearly 200 priests who had been credibly accused. And last month, the Jesuit province covering the northern United States identified 50 accused priests, including many who had served in the order school in New York City. Let's see if we have any comments. Wow. She said, joined us. Thank you. And Phil. Yes, thank you for joining. And Dottie says, I'll just call you Love. Love sounds great to me. And Scott says, the greatest expression of self-love is forgiveness. Let's see here. I need to go all the way back here. And let's see. Stuff is kind of like getting stuck here. So Phoenix says, nice teeth. Yeah. I used to do banana peel rubs when I was raw vegan, and that's the natural way of whitening your teeth. And then when you eat healthy, that kind of stuff helps. And it's weird because in my family, they're not very healthy as far as my dad had a bunch of work done in his mouth, my sister, but I've been blessed with pretty healthy teeth. Who's Martin says, nice to see you. And Linda's still getting on making the shaving video. Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard for me she offered, and it was nice. She's always very helpful that way. I mean, we're remaining friends. Last time we did it wrong. This time we plan to do it right. Depart as friends. Two people loved each other so much. How can you just all of a sudden turn around and hate each other? Okay, but you already said that. Let's see. News and media don't cover pedophilia enough. I was thinking you could call your show Transition Radio with Mark and Maritza, since you're two-spirit. Maybe that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, it's definitely with Mark and Maritza. I don't know. The Mark and Maritza. Or Scott says the greatest expression. I already read that. I just kind of skipped around. And Phoenix says, unless they want a stone thrown at them, they can look in the mirror at their self first. That's right. And Phil joins us. Hi, Mark. I'm going to call you Mark. Thank you for pointing out that this is not limited to the priesthood and sexual abuse in common throughout religious institutions. Totally, Phil, totally. And you could call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. Just joking. Let's see. So she said, joins us, and that's awesome. Always love to see you, Sue, here with us. And Phoenix I Am says, love to you. Hope your day was great. And everybody's saying hi to everybody. I love when I see everybody just saying hi to everybody, being loving and caring. You've been awake since 2 a.m. Full moon does that to me sometimes. Wow. I've had a couple of nights it's taken me a while to go to sleep. And that's really strange because I usually pillow hits the head or the head hits the pillow and it's lights out. But past couple of nights, it's like, I guess because I'm thinking a lot. I'm like, okay, so when I live in the car, I need to do this, I need to do that. I make sure, so when I think a lot, then it's like the little bit of insomnia that I have to tell my mind, please, we don't need to think about this now. We could think about this when we're awake. It's time to get rest. Because to me, sleeping is so important. It's regeneration. It's the time to astral project, to find out things in our dreams. So, and Husband says, people still send their kids to these pedophile known churches. They're idiots, totally idiots. And Fana joins us. Hey, Fana, how are you? And Pheonix I Am says, wait for it. More will be shown about this. You will not believe it. I didn't. I got sick. I hear you. As a victim myself, I just can't imagine. And then the sad thing is a place that you feel that you should be comfortable and trusting. And, it's the house of God. How can the house of God be promoting such a thing? But what God are we speaking about? Huh? That's the thing there. And she said, well, it's a major trigger for nightmares for me, so I may not stay. Self-care. So I may not stay. Okay. I hear you and understand, but that's not what the whole show is about. It's only a little piece. So you could, But, sometimes, I find, and I'm not saying that you have to do this by all means, but sometimes facing our fears, facing our triggers is very helpful to be able to move along, away from it, to be able to handle it face on and not allowing it to be a trigger anymore. But I honor you, my sister, whatever it is that you choose to do. And Dottie says, the subject upsets me, breaks my heart. Yeah, and we need to talk about it. And we need to know that there is a problem. There is a massive problem. We can't continue to ignore it. I know there's a lot of parents that, ignore it. I know there are mothers that ignore their own child being molested by their own father. I know I've heard of so many horrific stories. It's not just the church. Regular people, regular good people that you would think. But if we continue to do this, hear no evil, see no evil, how do we solve these problems if we ignore them? We've got to face things right, nip them in the butt, in my opinion. Pheonix Am says, one day our pain will be healed. Faith. Whoa, everything just kind of moved. Okay, Fana says, yes, there's that. I meant more about Lina and M. I'm not quite sure what that means. And Fana says, I'm driving. Y'all, please forgive me. Oh, that's why please drive carefully. Don't want you to get hurt in any way. Hey, Danny Flo, good evening, everyone, he says. And Scott says, hello, Danny Flo, with a little hand. And Pheonix I Am says, because it's not the house of God, the goddess is the church of God. She speaks to God, not anyone else. My thoughts. Love your thoughts, always have. Faced it over and over and over and over as it pleases others to make sure I did. Again, I respect you totally, and I don't ever want to make you feel uncomfortable. The actual link or the article is not that long, so it's not going to be that much, and then we're going to have other amazing things to talk about. The bishops in Hartford, Kansas City, and most of the 15 dioceses in Texas were among the others who named accused priests in the past month. But the Brooklyn Diocese disclosed has surprised advocates by the sheer number included, as it stands as one of the largest, yet from an individual diocese. The Archdiocese in Los Angeles and Boston are among the few others that have identified more accused priests. More than anything, church officials in Brooklyn said the disclosure reflected the expanse of the diocese, both in demographic size and in history. The diocese said the list covered is 166 years existence, and that the suspected priests made up not even 5% of the clergy who served during that time. It's probably not everyone. I hate to say it, but it sounds like a robust list compared to some others, said Terry McKiernan, the president of the BishopAccountability.org, which tracks cases of alleged clerical abuse. Brooklyn is a really large diocese. There's a lot of Catholics in New York. It's larger than some dioceses. Catholic officials have portrayed the disclosures as a move towards accountability as the church expresses contrition over its shortcoming and shines a light in cases that had long been shrouded in darkness. Many victims have welcomed the list, accepting them as long-awaited affirmation, but advocates have also raised concerns about the limitation of the church's willingness to be transparent. Seeing that they are not alone helps victims heal and could also compel others who are abused, whether by the same person or in the same place, to come forward, said Zach Heiner, executive director of the Survivors Network of Those Abused by Priests, known as SNAP. What is not helpful, though, it's the careful curation of these lists. 41 of the named clergy's members died or resigned before the accusation were found credible. And diocese said, and nearly 2/3 of the priests named have died. 2 of the 108 clergy members named were deacons. The earliest clergy members included on the list was Monsignor John Cross, who was ordained in 1916. That was a long time ago. With the disclosure, the diocese included a graph showing the case of the suspected abuse peaked in 1960 and 1970. Many of the allegations were reported after 2002. Since then, when the diocese instituted what is described as zero tolerance policy, permanently removing credibly accused priests from ministry, it found 2 credible cases. In 2017, the Diocese of Brooklyn named 8 former priests who were defrocked from childhood sexual abuse offenses. Those priests were also included in the most recent disclosure. Beyond those priests, advocates said that they had been aware of dozens of others who were believed to be abusers. How much more do we have of this? Okay. As I said, the list did not provide the start and end dates of a priest's time at a parish, and it also included no information about the nature of the accusations, making it unclear if each man faced allegation from one accuser or several. There were some names I did not think they would ever release that they did on this list, so it's better than I expected, said Sister Sally Butler, Dominican nun in Brooklyn, and a member of Catholic Whistleblowers, a group of current and former clergy members who are activists against clerical abuse. There are some missing names on the list that had me wondering. I think some people are still being protected, and I wouldn't doubt it that they are. I really wouldn't doubt that they are. So let's see here. Danny Flows says, hi, Scott. Sue decided to leave because it was too much for her to bear. Phoenix Am says, they watch me and it would just be shut down. I feel I'm the reason everyone got hit online. They take me out fast. Last time it was a cop and a riot and a beating. I'm good here. I tell Mark and he will tell you all, promise, if he wants to do that. And I do, and I definitely do. I want you to tell me so I could, be the one exposing this. Hopefully they don't come after me and want to beat me up, but, they do. And Danny says, I used to work for the Catholic Church. Let me tell you, the staff was paranoid about appearances and monitored closely the office internet. The church can't handle much more scandal. I think it's already, they can't do any damage control. To me, it's very well known what they're doing and how they're doing it. And, but it's not just the Catholic Church. That's the thing. There's so many different, different churches, different denomination, different people. There's pedophilia is a thing. It's crazy. It's beyond me how people just can't, let it, how people just can let it be without really wanting to face it. And I know that it's hard for people who have been abused. Like, I understand why Sue couldn't stay, because, sometimes you think you've worked through something, but it still triggers you. And that's understandable. You've got to be able to tolerate and respect yourself, respect your pain level. Danny says, okay, I already read that. Phoenix says, it was a ride. They did a lot to me, but they will pay for what they do. I will die for this. As will I, Phoenix. Totally. I mean, truth needs to be heard. The time is now. The time is now. As the intro to Transition Radio says on the little TV, the time is now. Transmission is being said. We are awakening, and more people are awakening by the drones, So, yes, it's important to be a light and a beacon. And, we can't continue to hide. We can't continue to not put the truth out there. It's very important. A lot of people have been hurt. A lot of people have been hurt by many things. And the time for healing. But before you could heal, you have to have awareness. So the time for awareness, to awaken and to heal, is now. And Phil says part of that is people's unwillingness to confront the fact that child abuse most often occurs within the family. And that is true. Family friend who I considered a grandfather was the one that abused me for 4 years. 4 years till I got to be of an age where I said, no more, don't touch me. And it's like, when you're a child, I think when we're children, we like to be people pleaser, and we don't want to hurt anyone. So we allow these atrocities to take place. And then we feel guilty that we allowed it. So it becomes this elephant in the room. And for years, it haunts you. And some people, they never recover from it. I like to think that I have, but there are times where, it rears its ugly head and it comes in the forefront. And then I have to deal with it, and I have to forgive myself for allowing it to happen for the years that I did. Because when I think about it, you as a child could say no. It took me till I was 12 years old when I could say no. So Phoenix says it's everywhere. Doctors hide the sick school counselors. Oh gosh, yeah. They play the shuffle. They are all in on it. People that love positions like Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, the church, counselors, day camps, all this stuff. As much betting as I try to do with these individuals, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it's like, it's scary. It is really scary. And stuff like this really plants a seed of corruption inside our hearts because our innocence is stolen from us. Totally stolen from us. And then we grow up to be, I hate to say this, basket cases. Because we don't know who to trust. We can't even trust our own bodies. We feel dirty at times. I mean, there's just a whole slew of different things and feelings I go through. But it's even more dirty to think that it's so prevalent and that very few people are willing to talk about it and do something about it. It's crazy. And Dottie says, can't understand how anyone can hurt a child. I can't either. But, when we know who runs this world, when we know the adversary is the one that's turning pure innocence into something corrupted, we're supposed to love and protect our children. Why aren't we? I mean, we're looking at everything from this trans issue. They're trying to take these young children and ruin their endocrine system from a young age. That makes my blood boil. Yet there are people defending it. Also, they could promote their own agenda. As long as you don't mess with me, that's how people function in this world. And Phil said it's absolutely heartbreaking. The kids not only have to deal with the trauma of the abuse itself, but the guilt associated with the shame. Yes, lots of guilt and lots of shame. Sometimes we don't like to talk about it because of the shame. But part of the healing is the awareness that it took place. Part of the healing is to be able to talk about it without that shame, to work through, to realize it wasn't my fault. We have to tell ourselves, it was not my fault. It was not your fault. You did nothing to deserve that. The adults that were supposed to protect you did not protect you. So it was not our fault. Time to heal, folks. Time to heal. And Phoenix I Am said natives have lawsuits still. They just wait for them to die. They raped our children and killed them. And I won't tell you the sick stuff they did. Phoenix, it's horrible. It's horrible what they've done to your people. It's horrible what they did to my people, the Tainos. It's horrible what this adversary, the God of this forsaken planet has done. And that people have just stood by, allowing all this stuff to happen. And it continues to happen. And Phoenix I Am says, it says in that book, your father, the devil, yes, and his men are just like him, not the mother's son. I feel for that church, but I've been raised not to cry for them. I hear you totally. And Dottie says, my poor adopted daughter is still paying for the abuse she suffered as a baby. So sorry, Dottie. Childhood is supposed to be the time for innocence, the time of play, the time of trust. If all that is taken away from us and we're forced to become little adults from a very young age, because when our innocence is stripped like that, when our boundaries are invaded, we lose We lose our innocence. We lose our childhood. We quickly turn into mini adults. And no one should ever have to go through that. And Danny says, there are some people who bring such filthy ugliness into the world by hurting children. They sentence kids to a lifetime of pain. Yes, Danny. These sickos don't know the extent of the damage they cause. And Pheonix I Am says, it's a sick system. Very true, Dottie says to Danny. True. Again, Dottie mentions. And Pheonix says, the church and these men in charge, this is why nothing is done. But you know what we can do, folks, as a community, as a tribe, as an individual? We can manifest a better world. We can manifest healing for those that were victims, like many of us on this chat room tonight, I'm sure are victims of childhood molestation. First of all, we need to learn how to totally forgive ourselves. Forgiveness is crucial for our healing. Not to walk around in shame and in guilt because we did nothing wrong. We were just there. Forgiveness for those that trespassed us, for those that hurt us. And I know it's hard because we just, that animalistic side of us just want to take those individuals and castrate and hang them, do something terrible to them. And that is possibly what they deserve. But the power is in forgiving. The power is in sending them light and possibly, just possibly try to understand that they were victims of that themselves too. And never, ever to condone it, because it's not at all, there's not an ounce of condoning there. But we heal by forgiving ourselves and forgiving others. And then being a voice to never let it happen again, to promise never to let it happen again to anyone, any of your children, your grandchildren, to do whatever you can possible to fight against this sick world that we're living in. And that's all we can do, but that's a lot. And if we each manifest a world where child abuse, child pedophilia is erased completely, I truly believe that we can manifest that. If we all heal, if we don't run away from it, because our pain is too much, we can't deal with it. And I know and I understand, and I'm not trying to harp on anybody that can't, but I truly believe that is the power. That's where we hold our power, is to forgive, face it, empower ourselves to make it stop. And Pheonix says, the church and these men in charge, this is why nothing is done. And Pheonix I Am says again, they got their riches now. Now they can leave here, not welcome. So yeah, they came and got what they wanted, and now they could go on and go rape another planet or do whatever, It's just crazy. So anyway, I don't know if you guys heard of this 11-year-old arrested at school after refusing to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I remember I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, and my grandmother would always tell me, don't stand up when they're doing that thing to the flag because you're not allowed to, blah, blah, blah. And I tried a couple times. I didn't take it very kindly. And then I felt like kids were making fun of me and kind of caved to peer pressure. But an 11-year-old was arrested. I mean, this is crazy. Following a confrontation at school over his refusal to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, which he reportedly called racist against Black people. The Florida boy was charged with disrupting a school function and resisting arrest without violence on February 4th after allegedly threatening his substitute teacher at Lawton Chiles Middle Academy in Lakeland following an argument. The student became disruptive, and the teacher contacted school administrators for assistance. Kyle Kennedy, a spokesman for Polk Country Public School, told the news outlet. The school resources deputy also became involved. Kennedy added that the students are not required to stand for the pledge, which he said the teacher was apparently not aware of. She will no longer be employed at any Polk Country school, he said. A Lakeland police spokesman confirmed the charges against the boy to Huffman Post, but declined to provide a copy of the arrest report because of his age. 11-year-old. According to the local station, Bay News 9, which obtained a copy of the report, the sixth grader called the American flag racist and the national anthem offensive to Black people. The teacher asked him why, if it was so bad here, he did not go to another place to live. I hate when people say that. Why don't you go back to Cuba? If I could, I probably would if my country hadn't been messed up with everything that's happened in the world. I mean, it's He replied, "They brought me here." She then suggested he can always go back. How rude. The teacher reportedly said she called the school's office because she did not want to continue dealing with him. What a great teacher. Can't deal with their own students. A school resource officer then placed him under arrest after he refused to follow multiple commands. He was taken to a juvenile detention center and suspended for 3 days. Bay 9 News reported the boy's mother, Dakira Talbot, has meanwhile spoken out against the teacher's behavior and has insisted that the charges against him be dropped. She was wrong, the mother said. She was way out of place. She told Bay News 9 if she felt like there was an issue with my son not standing for the flag, she should have resolved it that in a way different manner than the way she did. Similar demonstration of refusing to stand during the national anthem have become increasingly common, particularly since the San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick began taking a knee during the anthem in 2016 to protest police brutality and racial injustice in the United States. So, I mean, you know, it's all part of the matrix. The whole being all patriotic, believing all the things that they tell us, you know, it's all part of the matrix. It's all part of the delusion, illusion. It's like people are at war. Innocent people are dying because of waving this flag. And what does this flag stand for? There's a lot of blood, a lot of bloodshed, a lot of killing. America is a corporation. It's not even a country. We had a show about that a few weeks back, but, you know, it's really sad. So Pheonix says, 27 years later, it wasn't me. Found where the problem came from. I forgave and moved on until a memory comes back. I face it instead of burying it now. Yes, and you will feel better for it. Burying things just makes things fester. And fester, and like a volcano when it erupts, it's horrible. Old natives call it cowboy and alien time. They let them in. And Phil says, sorry, but I just can't trust these race-baiting news articles anymore. Best to wait until all the details are out. I think I've read it in another, I just picked that one up because, you know, it was easy, but I've seen it. And I hear you, God, pitted once. They love to do that, pit us against each other. I mean, I don't care what color of skin we are. You know, we're all made of the same spark of divinity. These meat suits, you know, they're like deceiving totally. But, you know, I've heard in other cases before that people are like being forced to stand up, you know, and there are people that don't because of their religious reasons. Like I know Jehovah's Witnesses were one of the ones that wouldn't be allowed because I know I had to face that when I was younger and got ridiculed. Lucky I didn't get arrested. It's pretty scary stuff. Pheonix I Am says, I would never and cannot do this. My mom would not let us. The flag is for 13 colony USA, but this is another story. I'm sure you're filled with wonderful stories, Pheonix I Am. Dottie K says, when will humanity just come together as one and just stop the hate? You know, we should all just realize that we are one, we are connected, but the enemy, the adversary, that reptilian green, you know, better word, wants our division. Divide and they will conquer. That's the name of the game. Divide and they will conquer. And I just, you know, why should anyone bow down to a flag, to anything for that matter? It's like always just trying to get us to be subservient to something so that we can't repair ourselves, so that we can't look within. It's always looking outside of us. And Pheonix says, Dottie, won't happen, so you and the rest of us do. Yeah, we've got to be that change that we want to see and hope that being that change could really help things. All right, so the next article here, let me see here, share screenshot. Little health segment here. How does exercise prompt fat to benefit metabolism? Now, one of the things I want before I start reading this article is, you know, there are people who are avid dieters. constantly dieting. They live their life dieting, living their life. This new pill is going to help me now. Whoa, what is that? Let me take that out of there. This new pill, this new that, and new fat burner, and the new fad type of exercise, and they need to lose weight for a wedding, and they starve themselves, and they go back and they eat some more, and then you yo-yo, and your metabolism gets shot. Metabolism totally gets shot, and it's even harder to lose weight. So the name of the game is, it has to be a lifestyle. You've got to fix your metabolism so that your body's constantly burning fat. So let's see what this article has to say. An international team of scientists has uncovered molecular evidence of how exercise benefits metabolism and health through its effect on fat. And that's what you want to lose. You want to lose fat, not muscle, but fat. The evidence reveals that fat plays an active role in the process. Make this a little bit bigger because I'm blind. The finding follows earlier work in which the researchers were the first to show that exercise prompts fat tissue, guess what, to release molecules that regulate metabolism. It releases molecules that regulate metabolism. You want to lose weight, you've got to fix your metabolism. And that sounds like a good thing when you're releasing it and it regulates your metabolism. Now, in a new paper that appears in the journal Nature Metabolism, they describe how they identify one of these molecules and investigated its activity. The molecule is a protein called transforming growth factor beta-2, TGF beta-2, and the study concerns its effect on glucose and fatty acid metabolism. Using mice, poor mice, they're always under the experiment. They're always using mice. The researchers demonstrate that exercise stimulated fat cells to release TGF beta-2, which improved glucose tolerance. In addition, treating sedentary mice with TGF beta-2 reversed the detrimental metabolic effects of high-fat feeding in the animals. The fact says that corresponding studies author Lori J. Goodyear, PhD, a professor of medicine at Harvard Medical School in Boston, Massachusetts, that a single protein has such importance and dramatic effects was quite impressive. Little thing, huh? Adipokine improves glucose tolerance. TGF-1 beta-2 is an adipokine, which is a large group of single proteins that originate primarily in the fat cells or adipocytes. Adipocytes is fat cells. Adipokines help regulate a variety of metabolic processes in fat tissue and also in the brain, liver, and the other organs. They also have a role in the immune system. So that's good news too. TGF beta-2 is unlike most of the adipokines that fat cells release, which tend to increase with obesity and can harm health and metabolism. Professor Goodyear explains that in contrast to the negative effects of many adipokines, their study identified TGF beta-2 as an adipokine that actually improves glucose tolerance when it's released from fat cells as a result of exercise. She and her colleagues investigated adipokines in male humans and mice before and after exercising. They saw that levels of TGF beta-2 went up after exercise. Further investigation revealed that both in the men and mice, exercise caused TGF beta-2 levels to rise not only in fat tissue, but also in the blood. The team also learned that treating mice with TGF beta-2 directly trigger metabolic changes, including higher levels of fatty acid uptake and better glucose tolerance. So reversed bad effects of a high-fat diet. Let's see if I got any new comments before I go on. Phoenix says, my allegiance is to God, not a country, a man, or a flag, or a church, or religion. That's right. So in the next phase of the study, the researchers administered TGF beta-2 to the mice that had become obese by eating a high-fat diet. They observed that the protein had a similar effect to that of exercise. It reversed the negative effects that a high-fat diet inflicts on metabolism. Finally, they administered TGF beta-2 to mice that had developed type 2 diabetes from eating a high-fat diet. Again, the effect was similar to that of exercise and led to a reversal of the negative metabolic impact of the diet. Professor Goodyear says that study is the first to demonstrate that exercise-induced adipokine can benefit metabolism. So, I mean, this is really good news that there is something, some people have the slowest metabolism, and they could like put a bomb underneath their where, and they still won't shed any weight. That's because your metabolism is your engine. And if your engine is not revved up, you're not going to burn fat. You're not going to lose the proper weight that you need to lose. So in addition, the team learned that lactic acid also has a prominent role in the process through which exercise-induced TGF-beta-2 impacts metabolism. That's why it's important when you exercise and after you've trained the tracks, because you have to, it's a training that you have to do to allow the blood flow, the nutrients, the oxygen, create more lactic acid. So the more lactic acid, the more it burns, the better it is. You're doing something. You're improving your metabolism. Muscles release lactic acid during exercise. The acid then travels to fat tissue and stimulate fat cells to secrete TGF-2 beta-2. So the researchers believe that the finding could lead to therapies that use TGF beta-2 to treat high blood sugar and type 2 diabetes. That's good news. However, much work lies ahead, including long-term safety trials of TGF beta-2 before such treatments can and become available. This research really revolutionizes the way we think about exercise and the many metabolic effects of exercise. And importantly, that fat is actually playing an important role in the way exercise works. And, I've always said, eat right and exercise, eat right and exercise. Hey, Darth, how's it going? Glad to see you joined us this evening. And Phoenix, I'm sorry, Mark, but as soon as you reach 57, your butt is gone. Phoenix, I'm glad you said that because today after I shaved myself and I'm looking, I need to shave the rest of my body. I looked at my butt and the butt is just like dangling. Not a pretty picture. And I exercise. So I'm like, whoa, kind of depressing. But you know what? It's only the meat suit. So we can't be attached to this thing. So that's why I told myself, all right, well, it's only going to get worse from here. I'm turning 55 and I'm sure as much exercise that I do and it's as healthy as I eat, you can't beat the time clock. And you can slow it down a little bit, but like this little gooseneck thing here, the beard used to hide that. Well, I can't hide that anymore. And some of the wrinkles, and I'm like looking at my face going, gosh. And the first thing I noticed when I shaved, it's like, damn, my chin is small. With that beard, I mean, it's like I didn't recognize myself looking in the mirror. So I call it sliding. I stop looking. That's very good advice. Just don't look at the things that kind of don't look right? Because you can't change it, And there's a few exercises that you could try doing to try to perk it up, but it's not so much the muscle. It's the dangling skin. It's like as we get older, skin just starts to sag, which is pretty sad. All right, I'm gonna do a little music break here, and to get people rolling here. This is a song that I wrote a while back, and I'm performing it with my ex from the group that we had, Transcend. We used to play a lot, and we used to play in different areas, and I love collaborating with others with music. So I hope you guys enjoy this. The song has a very awesome meaning to it. And here we go. Let's make sure this is on. Turn it up. Is it still on? Yes, it should still be on. Is it working? Hello, everyone. We're doing a little number for you, a song I wrote a while back called She Gently Weeps by Transcending. Had to cue her, like, come on. Take a look outside your window. What do you see? The children, they are starving, filled with disease.
sleep in bed. What's going on? What have we done? What's going on? What have we done? I wanna thank you for being this, this is true. Get up from your ass. Do something that lasts you make a change. Put your weapons down. Stop running around. This is your world. And she's slowly dying. She gently weeps. She's slowly dying. While you all sleep. What's it gonna take now to turn this around? Turn down the ego. Stop fighting now. Let's face up in the speakers. Show them the way. No one will become one. Not today. And I want to tell you something. I want to thank you for being you. You have a gorgeous, oh yeah. No, this is true. Get up from your ass. Something that lasts will make you change. Put your weapons down. Like climbing around. This is your world. And she's slowly dying. She gently weeps. She's slowly dying while you all sleep. This is your world. It's your world. She gently weeps while we all sleep. This is your world. We are on our
want to thank you, thank you, thank you. And that was that. I love that song. It has a really deep meaning. She gently weeps. I write a lot of my music has meaning. It's always telling a story, getting people to connect with the things that matter. So I figure that there was 6 string because unless there's a bass that has 4 strings and then there's a 12 strings and 6 strings, so I knew what you meant. I got you. So Scott wanted to find out if Pheonix I Am would share some of her amazing knowledge with him. And, Pheonix I Am says Mark has it. Mark needs to get it more. So that's what we need to speak so I could take notes, so I could I want to do it justice. I want to be able to explain it correctly. I want to engulf it, not just regurgitate it out or I know that's not a word, and spew it out without fully understanding. I want to understand it. I want to embody it. So when I say it from the heart and do it justice so that everyone could, learn from your amazing knowledge. And yes, definitely looking forward to talking when the show is done this evening. I won't be going as long tonight. I'm going to try to not be since I'm having 2 shows, it's a lot to sit 3 hours for every show. So I'm going to try to keep the shows under 2 hours, an hour and a half, and then I'm also probably going to start making just videos, videos of what's this, cookies, another guy. We use cookies. Okay, whatever. So was it Gail who sent me this particular article that I'm going to share? And I actually have this fish on my back. And I should probably pull that picture out. I should have probably pulled it earlier. A Rossi fish. Okay. There's a fish that actually goes from being a female to a male. And it's called Kabuta. And it's actually also called a Rossi. And I did a Miami Ink episode where they actually, I'm going to find it for you guys. So picture's always worth 1,000 words. And they literally, tattooed a Rossi fish. Okay, let me open that up. On my back. And the guy who was tattooing, Ozzy, I forgot his name. This was years ago. It was why do you want a Rossi? You're a fisherman, or, all sorts of different things. And it's actually, no. I told him I was actually born a female and I transitioned into, at the time, I believe, a male. I know that's not possible now, but here, let me go ahead and I'm going to have to remove this to share the other. And I actually had that tattooed on my back, and I was nervous that he was going to freak out and really ruin the tattoo and do all sorts of crazy things, but thankfully he didn't. That was years ago. I was chunkier then and younger then. I had the Elvis Presley looking sideburns back in the day. But that's a Rossi fish right there. And here's another one here, another picture. Let me delete that one. Wish this thing could be done faster, but it can't. And there's that. I was during my heavy duty working out days. I had my own gym. I trained people, back of, as the other one. But yeah, that's what that's all about. But this particular fish, actually, according to the environment, let me see, let's read some of this stuff here. In the first episode of Blue Planet, we met the Kubadai, the Asian sheepshed Rasi, that was introduced as a female, behaved like a female and looked like a female. And then, as we watched, she slowly but surely morphed into a male, displayed male behaviors, and developed male characteristics. It may seem strange, but in fact, that is common among fish. Known as sequential hermaphrodism, sex change is a common thing in usual adapted parts of the life cycle. It is documented in at least 27 families of fish, spread across the 9 orders, and displayed 3 patterns changing from female to male, known as protogeny, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, changing from male to female, known as a prototandry, and serial bidirectional sex change. All 3 types of sex change occurs across the teleos tree of life, which suggests that it has evolved multiple times. But why? But notice, folks, this happens naturally. This is not something that you go and have a doctor change your hoo-hoo into a ha-ha. They don't take hormones to do it. So if it was meant for us to do a change swap, it would happen. If females all of a sudden decided that the male species is going down, then, the great creator would have us magically to grow a, what? And, but it doesn't happen naturally. It's induced, medically driven. The biological process and adaptive advantages of sex change has fascinated scientists for decades. They're so much fascinated that they're trying to experiment with humans now. And the ecological and evolutionary context in which it occurs is not quite well studied and understood. The dominant theory as to why it occurs is known as the size advantage model. According to this model, changing sex is adapted if your reproductive value, the number of offsprings you can produce, is greater when you are a female when small, but a male when you are older and hence larger, as in Kubudai, or vice versa. So by changing sex, lifetime reproductive success is maximized. It's all about the colony, about the community, the combined number of offspring you produce as a female and then a male, or the other way around. Whether or not a species in protandrous or protogenius depends on their mating system and social structure. Protogeny, changing with a female to male, is more common in fish than prototandry because contests with smaller males are able to monopolize females and prevent smaller males from mating with them. Under these circumstances, reproducing initially as a female when small and then changing sex and becoming a male when large is the best strategy in order to maximize the number of offsprings you leave in the next generation. In the human gender confusion, it's not about reproduction. It's about sterilization. So the rat bastard, the adversary, the one that turns everything upside down, is trying to do the opposite. Nature works with nature to improve the species, not to decline it. So female to male changes is common in the social Rasi, like the blue-headed Rasi and the Kobari. Little is known about these species. The mating system is such that large dominant males defend spawning sites, which females need to lay their eggs, so only males that are big enough to defend these sites are likely to mate. See, nature's perfect. Nature knows what it's doing. We are the only monstrous, cancerous thing in nature that destroys. The best option here then is to be a female when you're small, and once you grow large enough, change into a male. In the blue-headed Rasi, loss of the dominant male stimulates sex change in the largest female, typically of the social group, and involves dramatic changes in behavior, anatomy, and coloration. And may I repeat, it happens naturally. No sex change operation, no hormonal treatment, no cross-dressing. Most juvenile blue-headed Rasis develop as females, but a few develop into small female mimic males. These males are known as sneaker males, which try and sneak mating with females without the dominant male realizing it. So, I think it's pretty interesting, and I'm going to go down. It says, how does sex change occur? In many sequential hermaphrodite fishes, tissues of both sexes are present in the gonad prior to sex change, whereas in other reproductive tissues are completely replaced by secondary sex. Again, happening naturally. In Rossi's complete restructuring of the reproductive tissue occurs because no testicular tissue is present in the ovary prior to sex change. This transformation can occur rapidly in the blue-headed Rossi, taking as little as 8 days. See, if mother wanted us that it would happen naturally, just like it's happening in these fish. Sexual differentiation and gonadal development in fish depends on the balance between oestrogen, female hormone, and androgen, male hormone production. In sex-changing fishes, dramatic shift in sex hormones accompanying gonad sex, male hormone production. In sex-changing fishes, I think I just read that change, but what tips? The balance towards male and female steroid production remains unclear. It's called Mother Nature, in my opinion. In my opinion. Let's see here. We've got Phoenix I Am says, Scott, I meant most people get mad at me when I speak about what I know because it isn't the same. We will talk. And Scott's very appreciative, saying thank you. I look forward to it. And Phoenix I Am says, anytime, I love to share this. Never know when they'll remove me again, if they will. Weird way to live. I guess if you do not give your DNA freely, they just beat you up and take it. Lena read something earlier that in Arizona, they're going to start taking people's DNA to some sort of background check for something or another, and they're going to make it mandatory. I mean, I've got to look into it more, but it's crazy. It's crazy stuff. Tooth serum is weird in your head. I wonder if they plant anything at this point. I don't like them much, and you shouldn't like them much at all, Phoenix. I mean, it's crazy stuff, crazy stuff. I mean, gosh, there's so many things in this world that totally hurts me. It's like reading this article about the Rossi, how it naturally does what it does. We got to realize that this agenda, and it is an agenda, a massive agenda. And I started reading this article the other morning of the many different lobbying groups behind this transgender agenda. I'm not going to read what I read. So if you want to listen to the first part, you could. It's on the actual. Few shows ago that I talk about it, and there's a lot of money. The goal is to make funding available to trans people in order to achieve these goals. Where does that money come from? Who are the funding sources? How will they be created? Well, 2015 form also mentions aiding an international HIV response. But crucially, I've saved the best for last. GATE betrays its actual astroturf nature with a mission in their 2015 IRS 990. Hormones have been removed from the norm, how they used to apply it for menopause in women, and they've repurposed these hormones. None of these medication that transgender people are on are legit for the condition. There's off-label use, okay? There are no approved drugs for treating transgenderism, no puberty blockers, no HRT, none of this are approved. And it's this history of pharmaceutical companies using illegal marketing practice and ignoring deleterious side effects can possibly be the case with transgender use. I had a friend of mine, an FTM, female to male, contact me yesterday telling me that he supports what I'm doing, that his health has fallen to the wayside since he got his hysterectomy and has only been on testosterone for 5 years. I am manifesting health in my life. I've been on testosterone for over 15 years. Luckily, I've stopped several times, and I've stopped again and will not be on it ever again because I feel it has destroyed me. It messes your ligaments, it messes your bone, it messes everything. It destroys you. It does not belong in that amount inside a female body. Neither does estrogen belong in a male body. Lots of new studies proving this. All three of those names have had here we go. Follow the money. Let's look at the three doctors in particular. Their names are Dr. Diane Ethersaft, Stephen Rosenthal and Joanna Olson. And I know Joanna Olson very well. All three of those names have had a financial relationship with AbbVie, maker of Androgel and Lupron, amongst other hormone replacement therapies and GnRH agonists. All three have gone on to promote the off-label use of AbbVie products to treat transgenderism. Both Joanne Olson and Diane Ehrensaft attended the AbbVie Advisory Board on Gender Care, Olson in 2015 and Ehrensaft in 2014. Now, the W path, which is what controls the bylaws, the rules, the regulations in this transgender agenda, is all based on junk science. No discussion of transgender medicine would be complete without looking at the World Professional Association for Transgender Health. That's what it stands for. WPATH bills itself as the thought leader in all things transgender health, and almost every scientist discussed in this article belongs to WPATH. It issues the guidelines, holds the conferences, and provides the forum to research paper and transgenderism. They've created it all. They're the ones creating the laws, and they're the ones so no one challenges them. Plus, deep pockets are funding this thing. Our experience is that surgeons in WPATH memberships are, number one, offering free or low-cost surgeries to under-resourced patients in order to gain operating experience. Because it's not like we've had this gender surgeon for a very long time. These are people that are either urologists, gynecologists, winging it as they went along. There's no professional training for none of this. Hence why all the complications we see. If you watch I Am Jazz, you saw that before your very eyes. They were playing practice. They were guinea pigging with this young team. So they're trying to get the experience by hands-on type of thing. Number two, engaging in preoperative counseling, academic publishing, and public presentation using complication rates that are based on incomplete patient records and insufficient follow-up. It distresses us to see academic publications and other claim regarding our bodily experience that imply a level of follow-up and has simply not occurred. They make people sign waivers so they can't be sued, these doctors. They make people sign waivers so they can't go out into the public and warn people. When surgical center does not routine follow-up on initial surgery, the cohort of patients on whom they have sufficient longitudinal data to report has an enormous selection bias. Lots of money behind it. It has been the quickest movement ever, and I talked about that in my morning show. Many of us have had our concerns and symptoms dismissed by our initial surgical team or do not have the means to return to our initial surgeon and have had post-op management and revision surgery elsewhere. There's no records of these outcomes. Not inclusive, a condition experienced by patient has complications such as fistulas, strictures, and tissue necrosis that significantly delay healing but not requiring surgical correction. The open letters go on to criticize WPATH for an inadequate aftercare, providing inadequate medical information and offering experimental procedures without advising a patient those procedures are experimental. Are we listening here? You are being experimented on. Not a particularly great rap sheet for a supposedly professional organization. Professional. It does not help that WPATH is funded by an ideologically motivated Jennifer Pritzker. I'm sure you've heard that name before. He was a man, transition, lots of money. They've been working on AI. They're trying to make robots because they don't want their wife to die. They want to keep the wife alive in a robot with all the wife's memories. The modern transgender movement is an astroturf tiger. It is not grassroots, it is not organic, and it serves the purpose of no one beyond homophobes and pharmaceutical companies. It is a menace. It has hollowed out the LGBT community. It threatens women's legal gains for the past 100 years, and it is going to destroy people's lives. An entire generation of gender nonconforming children, they may have otherwise grown up gay, are going to grow up to be brain damage, weakened eunuchs with a medical malpractice lawyer on retainer. This movement needs to end before it happens, before that happens. The LGBT community needs to wake up and start talking back to the fox in the hen house. Terrible stuff. Hey, girl with no name, Spooner. Thank you for joining in. Lisa Farmer joins as well. Let me see. What have I missed here? I don't know. Truth sounds weird. Phoenix Sam says, we're not all the same here. They are looking for her. She is native. They will never find her. She is deeply hidden. If they find her, they think they won the race. They have not. Things you do not know about. Lisa Farmer says, this is true. We're not all the same. Very true, Lisa. And thank you for joining us. And Dottie says, hi, Lisa Farmer. And Phoenix, I am 3 worlds crash into one. So no, we are not the same. My knowledge passed down. And my friend Scott says, hello, Lisa. And Lisa sends a nice little heart to Scott. And Darth Raven says, so is the transgender movement trying to help destroy human population? I believe so. I totally believe so. By diminishing the ability of fertilization, by destroying the DNA, by altering the understanding in human psyche that we need biology. We've used biology throughout life. Look, the story that I just read about the fish, it happens naturally when there's not enough male in the colony. The females, through nature, no hormone use, no operation, mother works miracles with everything. So if we were needed to alter our sex, if we were born in the wrong body, as many transgender people claim to be, it would happen naturally, not through the means of this corrupt medical system that we're seeing today. So yes, Darth, I truly believe there's an agenda, and I will be speaking a lot more about this. I have videos in the past that I've spoken, and I've made so many videos, but now I'm really dedicated to really exposing this agenda. And Phoenix I Am says, they gave you Hollywood to keep you busy, and you never saw half the things they have done and blame others for. I totally believe you, Phoenix. And Becky joins us. Thank you, Mark. That shave did you well, looking younger. Howdy, spiritual family. Thank you, Becky. I actually feel like I'm looking older the past 4 years. And I think, testosterone converts into abnormal type of estradiol because it's synthetic. And I truly believe, and I've been saying this for the longest time, I see trans women becoming older after long uses of estrogen, and I've seen trans guys becoming older after long-term use of testosterone. But I eat well, I exercise, I've got good genes, so that might be my saving grace. I'm going to take a lot of time to heal and return to my original state of who I was born to be. I'm going to be gentle. I'm not going to be rushing it. I'm going to be me. I've never been this prim proper kind of lipstick using type of female. I've tried, and as you guys seen the video at the end that I created, that was all based on the upbringing. My mother wanted me so badly to be feminine, and I tried, and I looked pretty good. But she would always tell me that I looked like a truck driver in a dress when I walked. I could never walk right for her. I could never talk right for her. She wanted me to shave my legs, shave my armpits. I ain't shaving my legs. I may shave my body, and hopefully after a time without being on testosterone, it doesn't grow back. I'll probably have to shave my face forever, and I'm hoping that with time, the hairs won't come out as coarse because you should see the amount of, it was like, whoa, when I was shaving that stuff. I made a video, but we'll see. I'm totally connecting to Mother and letting her guide this, letting her guide what we call detransitioning, Scott says, good evening, girl with no name, Spooner. The rulers of this world want us all to be AI. Yeah, exactly. But we ain't going to take it. We're not going to take it. We're not going to do it. We ain't taking that chip. We ain't doing it. We're saying, no, we are what? Sovereign beings. And Pheonix I Am says Georgia Guidestones. Yes. Population control, 500 million, right? They do it all the time. How do you think they killed the dragons off? Probably don't know this either. Yeah, it's almost like repeat, rinse, reset button, do it again. We get too smart for our bridges. They want to wipe us out. That's why now they want to do, the singularity, creating robots so that they could keep the spark of divinity in this machine that won't ever die and won't be allowed to be released. So if the machine never dies and the spark of divinity is encapsulated in it, then they have forever slaves, dumbed down, don't break down, perfect slaves, right? And Lisa goes, don't allow yourself to get chiseled and stoned. Don't allow yourself to get chiseled in stone. Don't quite understand that, but please explain. You could also call in. The number is, what happened there? Okay. The number to call in if you want to explain. Oh, last time you tried calling, you couldn't, something or another, but just in case you can, there's the number right there. Okay, so let's see. Hey, Fifth World, love you, sis. Thank you for joining us. Let me go find here. I've been wondering. Let's see. Good question, Darth. I've been wondering what their end game is. Transhumanism. Totally, Scott. That's what it is. One big cluster of AI transhumanism. Get people to accept the change of gender. They slowly marinate us to accept things. Well, if you can make a man into a woman and a woman into a man, then what's there to make a person into a robot? Hey, you're going to be more efficient. You ain't going to break down. You're going to live forever. How many people would go, sign me up, right? Not me. I'm not even falling for the born in the wrong body. I've healed. I've healed that. I've been through that path. It doesn't work. Unless nature creates it, like I explained with the Rossi fish, then it does not work. Nature doesn't make a man grow breasts and have their privates removed automatically like the Rossis do. No, people do things to alter themselves. And Scott says, good question, Darth. Okay, and Scott also says, good evening, girl. Okay, the ruler of this world wants us all to be AI. Okay, Georgia Guidestone, I read that already. Don't allow yourself to get chiseled. Okay, awesome. Give it up to the mother. She did this for us. Yes, let's all give it up for mom. And girl with Spooner no name says, we are free, we are sovereign, we are our own guardian of divinity. Yes, chakalaka, boom, boom. And Pheonix Am says, oh, and she never misses. I'm sure she doesn't. Mama could kick some ass. Mama could kick some ass. You look amazing and beautiful and free. Thank you, Fifth World. I feel it. And today is the beginning of the day that as I was driving back from my shoulder rehab, I'm like, why am I still presenting with this beard and this thing when that's not who I am? I was born a baby girl. I was born Maritza del Carmen Perdomo. My experience will help me help others realize that this whole gender swap thing, not a good idea. If Mother intended for us to do that, it would have happened naturally. And what's taking place is a spiritual evolution of the two becoming as one. I want to be my true androgynous self. And that is what you all will see unfold with time. There's a lot of healing. I mean, I've been off testosterone now. Today has been a month exactly. And as the body heals, because she will heal, there's a lot of changes you guys will see. I'll still be me because my personality has always been like this. But, changes will be seen. Love you. And Pheonix Am says, I think it is alien in your skin. I think not everyone is real, but they hide the alien side of this. Interesting. And Scott Satella says, my name is Scott Satella. I'm divine, sovereign, and free. And I don't consent. No RFID for this kid. Go ahead and kill my body. That's right, brother. And we're all going to stand united. The more we are, the stronger we are. We raise our vibration, and we're going to kick some reptilians' ass. Phoenix Ham says, the ruler of this world is the mother. They get kicked out. Mama's going to whoop them. And Phoenix says, the house sets down. It saved us natives from the flood. Fifth World says, our body is transforming, preparing for transfiguration. It's not all transhumanism the way they paint it. What's going to happen with us is natural. Just like, I don't know if you tuned in when I was reading the article with the Rossi fish, that the females, when the colony is low on males, automatically start to change with the characteristics of the male fish. So they step their game up and they become males so the colony continues to reproduce the way it needs to. So whatever's going to happen to us as humans is going to happen naturally. None of this AI. Remember, the enemy always corrupts. That's what the enemy does. It corrupts. If it's not happening naturally, it's a perversion from the enemy. And hello, Matthew Cargins. Hello, hello. It looks good, my man. Wait, do you mind being called bro or sis now? I am that I am. I was born a baby girl. I am always been androgynous, two-spirited, and I felt shame because that's what I was raised to feel shame for being me. So this whole transgender thing was based on shame. It was based on shame. So you could call me whatever you feel comfortable calling me. I don't care. It does not matter to me. You'll always see me being me. And as I said, I am biologically a female. And the Fifth World says, she is here. And Dottie K says, much love to Fifth World. And Fifth World sends a little blue heart with a little waving hands and all that great stuff. And T. Taylor speaks on that we have our own power. Totally. We need to tap in. But as long as we continue to allow these fleshy bodies to be in charge, let me see this. I'm going to check on. No. As long as we allow these fleshy bodies to dictate our lives, as long as we allow these fleshy bodies to lead in the forefront, then our spiritual essence kind of gets lost somewhere. We need to learn that we are more than our bodies. We need to learn that gender and sex is all a byproduct of the adversary, the reptilian, the Yahweh, the God of the Bible, that wanted lots of little kitties around. You know, so the show started off with pedophilia. They want those little kitties. They want more slaves. So they want us to be attached to gender. I am a sovereign being. I am an androgynous being. Maritza del Carmen Perdomo, legally named Mark Angelo Cummings. As I heal and as things progress, I might change all of that. A lot of red tape. I will let Mother guide. I am her humble servant, and I will do what Mother wants me to do. I will be used as a vehicle, a tool to shed light on this agenda. I will do it with compassion and love because that is so important. I love everyone. And those in the trans community don't like me. They don't want me to speak the truth, but it needs to be spoken because there needs to be two sides. There just can't be one way. And there's a lot of people that have been hurt by this agenda. Humanity will suffer, as the article that I just read. And so may you just call me M. M is fine. M is fine. Let's see. What else we have here? Scott South said, if Mother Father can do that for a fish, imagine what it's store for us. I'm telling you. It's going to be amazing, this transformation, this homo luminous that we are going to be turning into. And Fifth World, Dottie says, Fifth World, really love your vids. She does have amazing vids. A lot of great information. And Girl with No Name says, so may I just call, I've already read that. You could call me whatever you want. My nickname used to be Ritz back in the day. Some people couldn't pronounce Maritza, so Ritz, like Ritz crackers, whatever you want to call me. It matters none. Dottie, thank you. I love your videos too. And Darth Raven, I believe after our full memory will return to us. Yes, Darth, right on. It will. It will. We'll start remembering more and more. And I believe after death, our full memory return to us. Yes, definitely. And Pheonix I Am says, as a native, we were told to keep the population down. Why did they raise it? Ask yourself this. They raised it with the humans that are not humans. Because they've been working on this AI thing for quite a while. Soulless population. And Dottie says, Fifth Girl, I don't have any videos. I think maybe she confused you with somebody else. But I'm sure if you did make videos, Dottie, that'd be awesome. And so Matthews, Cargas, Ritz, yeah, awesome. Ritz, it's for me. There you go. Ritz is cool. Ritz is cool. I like the name. Ritz, Maritza, you know. Girl with no name, Spooner. We have been so programmed that ego is most important when it's actually the least important. Very, very true. Pheonix I Am says, my dad called me his turd of misery. Sheesh. I'm sure he meant it in an endearing way, I guess. I don't know. Hey, Martin, you're back. Hey, Martin, it took me over 8 minutes to find your video again. Wasn't even on your channel. I clicked an old video and it came up. Crazy. Yeah, they're afraid of me. They're afraid of the stuff. But you know where you could always find it, Martin, is I always post it on my Facebook page. The links. You click on that and it'll take you. But it's crazy stuff. I ain't going to shut up, though. Oh, boy. They don't know what's heading their way. Probably going to have to hire some private bodyguards because Ritz is here. And Ritz is planning to speak up and shed some light. And Scott says, right on, Spooner. We have been so programmed. Did I miss something that Spooner says? We have been so programmed that the ego is most important when it actually is the least important. Yes, that's. And AI is not only soulless, but spiritless. Yes, totally. Robots. And Pheonix I Am says, the mother is the AI. They denounced her and made one. I find this funny. He said I had a bad attitude. Love my daddy. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. And I'm sure he loves you too. Girl with the name Spooner says, my dad didn't call me anything, even though he lived 2 states down from me. So Martin says, Maritza, Mark Angelo coming sounds good. Oh yeah, I'll do that next time. Oh, they're clicking on the thing. Maritza, Mark Angelo coming. Yeah, I was thinking, hey, Global Witness. The no beard look is good. Yeah. Returning to oneness. Allowing myself to be who I am, who I was intended to be, who I was born to be. It's going to be a ride, Derek, trying to return, trying to heal. But that's what, the Creator, Creatus, has informed me that I need to do next. To take the message to the next level, to walk the walk. What I'm preaching, lead by example. So first the beard, now tomorrow I got to get the body all shaved up. It's a total production. You should see the video because it was like, that thing was growing big time. So as time progresses and my body heals, because I've been off testosterone for a month now, so things should start just healing. A lot of healing needs to take place. Yeah, I know I have hidden subs as well. It's crazy. They don't want me to speak, I guess, That agenda is got. Thank you, Derek. Appreciate you so much, Emilia, and appreciate everyone. Really do. It's going to be a process, but I'm excited because I know that I'll be in alignment. Alignment in what I am meant to do, and I trust our Creator so much. You just don't know. Whatever Mother, Father wants me to do, I will do. So my dad was right about calling you his little turd. or not quite sure what you were saying, but girl with no name says Badger can't chaos. Perfect name, Phoenix. Yes, it does match me. She says, no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't what? Sometimes I'm like trying to get what the flow of the conversation is, but don't understand what Lisa's trying to say about no, he wasn't. So yeah, I think I probably lost 2 pounds worth of facial hair. Feels funny. Now the thing is, I'm gonna have to start using on Morocco because my skin is pretty soft, and I need to get some sun. Although it's winter here, because it's like I'm like whiter than and then my teeth. So it's like really weird. But you know, it's me. It's the true essence of who I am, and I'm gonna embrace my androgyny because that's, in my opinion, that's what we're meant to do. The two will become one. Mother, the creator, is an androgynous being. And I feel that she wants me to represent that. So I will do that. And Global Witness says, don't worry at all. It is all in his hands. It is all beautiful. I respect and love you for your transparency. Great, appreciate and respected. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Definitely. Everything is in his and her hands, totally. And I'm looking forward for what Father, Mother has in store. And I, like I said, I am a servant, and I want him or her to use me in whatever way. So Who's Martin says, I'm filming at the house tomorrow. Hope you see it. Also getting help from a friend of mine. You will finally see the house. Does Global Witness know about the hidden subs? I asked him about it. He said something, your computer, since it's so fast, might be reading something differently. But like I said, I've noticed, like I don't even get sub notifications when people subscribe. And before, you're supposed to be told you have a new subscriber. Then I see the subscriptions go down, up, down. It's like really weird stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but it's crazy. And Darth says, something seems fishy with transgender movement when it came out. All this confusion is part of the enemy's plan. Yes, totally, Darth. Totally part of the enemy's plan. And I've seen that. And that's why I'm speaking up. That's why I can no longer live the lie. And that's why I want to be a beacon and try to help young women who have been told that they're wrong for being women because they're butchy women or whatever. Because, you know, it's like a shaming type of thing. So they think the life is going to be better for them if they become a guy. And the same goes for men that are feminine and they don't fit in. So they think their life is going to be better if they do the other. And unbeknownst to them, there's no betterment. Your health gets destroyed. You're destroying your temple. And it's never good. Global Witness says it's catching issues in the browser. It displays subs from a previous channel. Yeah, but I still see like on my, you know how you have the analytical thing, like it goes up and then it goes down, and then it never tells me when somebody's subbing. The other day I went in the thing and it's like I had all these subs, but it never notifies me. Dottie says, so proud of you, Mark. And love you so much. I love you too, Dottie, and thank you. I appreciate your support. I appreciate all of your support. It's very humbling, and one is vulnerable. And I'm allowing my vulnerability completely to show by doing what I'm doing. But I have faith and I trust in our Creator that it is for the best. Can be a scary road. There's a lot of work to be done. Documentation changes is not easy, but like I said, I'm leaving it all up to our Creator. And let's see, who's more? Wait, let's see. Thank you, girl with no name. Hit the like button. Yes, please hit the like button. Share, subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. Phoenix Am says that. The I am a sister of the divine twins. Jesus is a girl. They hide everything from you people. Our God is known as our pipe. Female, the Bible was brought here. She is the race, and they lost. Husman says, don't think we will catch a ghost, Mark. Although a tourist said yesterday they saw a woman. Can I send you a picture later of who is rumored to be the spirit while she was alive? Sure thing. Sure thing. Please do. And Rex Clark says, no dream is ever lost if you never cease to try. Moody Blues. Love that, Rex. Love it. And True Love joins us. Butch women are beautiful and underappreciated in our culture. It's a shame. And I want to stand up for my sisters. I want to return to my truth. And I want to allow young women to be proud of who they are, that they don't have to turn into something they're not because they don't fit in the mold that society has placed us in. You know, it's so important. And like I said, I can now wave the torch because I'm going to be living it. I'm going to be walking the walk, not feeling hypocritical, because I plan to heal and I plan to help others heal as well. And Phoenix AM says, unless you can tell me where this male Jesus gives you birth from. Exactly, right? Nothing never going to happen. And Dottie says, hi, True. And True says, hi, Dottie. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and do the manifestation moment. Let me make sure all this stuff is on here. Did it turn off? No, it's still on. Is this on? Yes, it's still on. Okay. That's a bit loud. First, I want to take this time to thank you all. I appreciate you and your time greatly. You're family to me, and I love you all so very much. Gravity keeps us grounded. There is a law of nature that we must follow, because nature has her laws. We humans think we can outdo her and create our own laws, but nature has her laws. These meat suits that we were gifted keep us from truly understanding our mission. They slow us down. They disrupt it. But where they're not created for such reasons, right? To slow us down. That's what the meat suit is all for. All of our senses, all of our human nature was created to stunt us, to confuse us, to destroy us. Many questions we have with little to no answers. We swim in a web of lies, yet we believe them to keep our comfort and floating in this world and life. We must go beyond the programming and feel our way around the dark to find the light within. I repeat that. We must go beyond the programming and feel our way around the dark to find the light within. Be gentle, but be vigilant. Be soft, but be wise. Don't allow the voices that confuse you enter your hearts. Climb the ladder to reach your utmost potential. Look at where you have been and where you are going. Stay steady and stay in love. Love is such a beautiful thing. It's an energy that engulfs us, that if we learn to dance within it, the miracles start to happen. Don't pretend to be who you are not. I've learned that lesson. It took me freaking 16, 17 years to realize that. Be real and be honest with integrity in all that you do. Imagine your life full of love. Never see the glass half empty. See it half full, and you will create what you wish. I'm going to repeat that. Imagine your life full of love. Never see the glass half empty. See it half full, and you will create what you wish. For you are a creator and part of mother and father. Never, ever forget that. Never, ever settle for less. Never let go of your dream. Never stop living. Always be wise and respectful. Give it your all and give life a chance. Don't fall for the rat race or fall into a trance. For who you are is wonder and fire. The love that is in you will help heal you and the world. I love you all so very much. I want nothing more than greatness for every single one of you, to heal, to truly heal. And I promise to bring lots of healing tools on Transition Radio Show, to share my journey with you, and hope that my journey, my evolution, my healing will spark healing in you. My heart it's expanded so much since I've connected with all of you. It feels so much love. And I want to share that with you. And I want you to feel that love for yourselves as well and for others. And let's connect. Let's make our consciousness rise above like a phoenix rises from the ashes. Let's make Mother, Father proud. Let's see what we got here. Let me go through. Hi, Dottie. Hi, True. Jesus was just a man with a message of Christ within. And we all have that divinity within us. And as soon. Good night, Phil. Phil, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. As soon as we realize that divinity, the sooner we will heal and the sooner we'll help others heal. Lisa Farmer says, Spooner, I just wrote about the messenger today. Odd. Messenger. Oh, you're calling the Christ the messenger. And Rex says, exactly, girl with no name. Totally. She speaks truth. And Pheonix I Am says, the rock walked with the prophets, and this rock was a female, and she was Jesus. They learned from her. But everything has been changed. Follow what you want. Everything has been changed, Pheonix. But Pheonix, we will overcome all this. We will thrive. Mother will be glorious. I feel it in my heart. The messenger did have a message, says Lisa Farmer. Rex says, what is the story behind the name Girl with No Name Spooner? I often wonder that. I never asked her, but I often wonder that. And if she so feels, inclined to answer. Pheonix Am says, you have what they want you to have. We have what we are to remember. It is different. And Lisa Farmer says, yeah, never mind. It wasn't history. I'll tell you that much. And Rex Clark says, love you, Mark. I don't fall for the rat race. Yes, love you too, brother. And it's important not to fall for that rat race because it will consume us. That's why we are consumers, Girl with No Name says, I haven't learned my name given to me from the creator of all. And I'm still in the corporate rat race for now, but going to get out soon. Yes, brother. And he also says, Rex says, this is my last corporate gig, and thank you for reminding me, Mark, of the nonsense of corporate America. It is lots of nonsense. We have to be creators and live in our creativity and do what we love to do. I highly suggest for everyone to follow their passion, be a beacon of light for others, and Mother and Father will always provide. You must believe. You must shed all the old ways and the old lies. You must stop worshiping these meat suits and realize your essence of light. Pheonix I Am says, wow, Phoenix rising, this is what is happening. She burns herself for the last time, then it's over. I believe that. That's why I visualized that. When I tapped in to Mother, lots of the words come through her. That's why when I write my manifestation moments, it's all coming from her. I write a manifestation moment every evening for the next day's show. And I just kind of I tap in. Great intention, Spoon. Rebecca says, Scott, and Phoenix says, old Bible says Jesus wore a gown and carried a purse. Interesting. And I just visualized that too. Scott Sattel says, my daughter's name is Rebecca. It's a beautiful name, Rebecca. Lisa Farmer laughs. Stop it, Phoenix, LOL. And Pheonix AM says, but like I say, it's a race for the ring, and they turned it all bad. I don't care. It won't have anything to do with me. Yes, amazing stuff. Well, I think I'm going to call it and evening. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 tomorrow. I got to create the show, and I'm trying to get on the phone with Pheonix for a little bit so that she could share it with me so that I could understand a little bit more and try to take some notes or something so that I could share with you. I also got sent some videos from AK. He's been busy and he's doing some important work where he's at. So I got to watch those videos. It's just not enough time in the day. This is what I do, you know. This is my passion, and I appreciate all of you that have been donating and supporting, because this is what I do, and I want to take it out on the road so that I could be more proficient and efficient, and I want to embody mother. The androgynous mother, father that we all come from. So again, I appreciate you guys. Please subscribe, hit the like buttons. If you could donate, please do. For any of you that want to talk one-on-one with me, any, like I said, life coach, master personal trainer, certified nutrition consultant, you know, I'll also, when I'm on the road, I'll be available to give your kitchen a U-Haul or a haul, you know, change everything around how you eat and help you learn how to train properly for your body type, for, you know, because I don't believe in cookie cutter routines. I believe in creating specific programs for people. Also, you know, learning how to work through stagnant energy, you know, through dance, through energy work and things of that nature. So when I get on the road, I'll be available to do all that with you guys. Love you, Pheonix. Yes. Hanging in there. And I can't wait till it's almost done because I'm ready. I'm ready. This old, tired body has been through a lot. I feel it. I feel, gosh, the past few years, it's just all, you know. So I'm excited. Good night, Scott. Thank you, Mark / Maritza, brother, sister. That's it. Homoluminous beings. Mark, Maritza, brother, sister, and homoluminous being. It all applies. I love it, and I embrace it. And I hope all of you embrace both your sides, too, because it's important. That's what's got to happen. The return to oneness. Not male, not female, both together as the yin and the yang, that androgyny, that beautiful androgyny. And however that looks within you, that's up to you. You are to create what is inspired by mother, father within you. That kingdom is in you. That Christed consciousness is in you. Let's all tap in there. Let's connect. Let's rise ourselves up like the phoenix is rising from those ashes. And let's be of service to others. Let's show them who we are, because they will know us by our fruits. There's no sacrifice too big. I am at her service and forever will be. Knock, knock. It is here. Watch the sky for now. Then do not look up. That is coming. Hither, this hurts. And Daddy says, please like, share, and donate if you can. Thank you so much, Daddy. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you. Thank you, Rex. Rex says, was thinking about you today. Pheonix, you are a good ball of energy. Yes, she totally is. Totally is. All right, guys. So I will see you tomorrow. If you're able to join me at 9:30 in the morning tomorrow, please do. If not, I'll be back here at 5:30 tomorrow evening with another segment of Transition Radio Show. A show that promised to always talk about the real issues, the real problems with solutions, because I always like to bring the solutions, not just the problems. A place for all to gather, to love, to accept, to understand, and to grow as spirit beings that we are, to learn to balance our male and our female energy, and to be able to pursue that mission that Mother, Father wants us to pursue. Take care, everyone. Love you. But remember, always remember to love yourselves too. Have a good one. Good night.